Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Midnight Edit. Today we're going to be looking at a really small product called the Pocket Tripod Pro. There's going to be an affiliate link in the description below if you're interested in this item, but just so you know, I bought this with my own money and I'm not obligated to say anything good about it. I found out about this item because I fell for one of those advertising content interrupters in my Instagram feed and I clicked on it. But I don't mind it too much when I get ads that are relevant to the things that I like. So if you like doing photography or video with a mobile device, this little tripod might be a great EDC item to carry around. So with that, let's get into the video. So this product is made by a company called Geometrical. The packaging itself is really nice. The front is like a matte white with the phone in a high gloss finish, and the back is a matte black with the icons in a glossy black finish. The binding lets me know that I have the version called Jasper, which is like a minty color, and I just appreciate it when companies put just as much effort into their packaging design as the product itself. Now I can't totally testify to its sturdiness as I just bought this thing and I'm not about to try and break it. And even though they advertise it as a pocket tripod, I probably wouldn't put it in my pocket by itself. Something this thin and this small probably has its limitations, but I would put it in my wallet, and this is one of its main selling points. So after a little bit of research, I'm seeing that there are imitations of this product out there on the market for a much cheaper price, but this one might be a bit sturdier as it has carbon fiber components. So towards the bottom of the packaging, you're going to see a little QR code that you can scan to verify authenticity. If you get the Pro Kit version for $35, you can choose from a good variety of colors. In addition to the Jasper minty color, they have a red color, which is called Magma, a white and black version called Panda, a pinkish magenta, which is called Thunder, and a matte black version, which really doesn't have an interesting name like the rest of the colors. So if you decide not to go for the kit version and just get the tripod itself, it'll only come with one set of adapters, and that's available in a matte black version or a very nice looking all white version, although the last time I checked, the simplified versions were sold out. You're also going to need to determine which adapter will fit your phone, so just click the Look Up Your Device button, and you can search for your phone in combination with your case, and there are actually a lot of options to choose from. So the kit is going to come with a set of instructions, and at first glance they look a little complicated, but it's really not that hard once you get the hang of it. It has a lot of imagery and not a lot of text, so it's pretty easy to understand. It gives you an indication of the modes you can put the device in and the angles you can achieve, but also what you shouldn't do with the tripod unless you want to break it. You're also going to get a set of adapters for different phone and case thicknesses. One of the sets of adapters come pre-installed on the tripod already. If for some reason you buy the kit and none of the adapters fit your phone, the company gives you a coupon code so that you can order another set of adapters at no additional cost. One thing to note is that these adapters are really small, and because they are black, it's really easy to drop them and lose them, especially on a surface like asphalt. So I managed to lose a set while filming this video and spent about 5 minutes searching for it in an empty parking lot. This goes back to my disdain for black photo and film gear because it's just really easy to misplace small parts, but also because these pieces are impossible to see in low-lit environments or in the bottom of a backpack. So this kit doesn't really come with a little storage box other than the packaging, but I'm not going to carry the packaging around, so I'm going to have to find a little box or something, maybe like an Altoids mint box, because I need multiple adapters for different phones. So you're going to get a geometrical fit card, which you're going to use to measure the thickness of your phone. This will make it easier to decide which adapter will work with your particular phone and case combination. So the tripod really is a work of art. It's such a small device and so carefully thought out. It kind of reminds me of an origami-inspired piece, It has this really satisfying snapping or clicking sound when you switch the position from credit card mode into tripod mode and vice versa. And it kind of reminds me of the Nintendo Switch clicking noise that Nintendo uses as part of their auditory branding element. It does feel a little delicate in your hands, and the first time you use it, you might be afraid that you're going to break it, because I was. So I do wonder how long the hinge points will last. I'm going to play that little clicking sound for you now, even though it's going to be out of sync with the video. So I did try to put it into a wallet just to test out the claims. So as you can see here, I have a wallet with a whole $10 and some credit cards. So this will only work if the adapters aren't extended outward from the tripod. And it did fit into the wallet with not a lot of effort at all. And I also think that this is the safer option for storage, as the other credit cards that are in your wallet are going to reinforce it and prevent it from bending or breaking. Next, I wanted to test how well the adapters work with different cases. So I have an iPhone 11 with a lander case that is semi-thick and super protective. The next phone that I'll be testing is an iPhone 7. This one has a thinner case that isn't as protective, but I really liked the design, but unfortunately I don't think they sell this model anymore. And finally, I have another iPhone 7 with a standard Apple battery case that has been really well loved and is pretty much falling apart at this point. So what you do is you take your phone with its case on and you try to fit it into the pre-cut slots on the fit card until it kind of snugly fits into the slot. So I'm testing the iPhone 11 with the lander case first. And after testing a few slots, I felt like the best fit came in at around 10.5. So once you have the measurement, you can pick the corresponding adapter. In this instance, I didn't have to switch out the adapter because the 10.5 came pre-installed. All the adapters are nicely labeled. It's a little small, but there isn't much room on the adapter to label this anyways. After that, you can put your phone in any orientation, forwards or backwards, and depending on your case, it might work in one orientation better than the other. You can get a pretty deep angle from using this little device. The instructions say that you can use it in a standard mode, or you can go into Pro mode by inverting the adapter in the other direction to achieve different angles. So in this shot, I'm inverting the adapters, and you aren't relegated to using it in a landscape mode. So here, I'm trying to set it up into portrait mode, and it works just as well. So the base of the tripod is nice and wide and stable, and I didn't experience it tipping over at any point. And this is what it looks like in Pro mode from the side. So now I'm testing out the iPhone 7 with the mildly thinner case, and I think I ended up using an 8.5 adapter for this one. So with the adapters, I kind of got into this habit of putting the tripod into an upside down kite-like shape and then sliding the adapters in from the bottom. Once you switch out the adapters a few times, it feels fairly effortless to switch the adapters out, and it just gets easier over time. The last phone and case combination I'm testing out is another iPhone 7 with an Apple battery case. This scenario is a little bit different from the others, mostly because of the thickness and shape where the battery is located. So Apple gave the case a curved shape, which looks great and reduces the bulk, but it prevents the case from snugly fitting into one of the card slots without easily falling out. And this also means that the adapter is going to do the same thing and your phone's going to fall out. So the better solution for this is to measure the outer edges of the case because it's thinner. So the outer edges of this case measured out at about 9.0. And the next part makes it feel like you're going to break the tripod, and in actuality, you will be separating it into two pieces. So after you install the adapters, you're going to separate the tripod by turning the two main pieces at its center point and then pulling them apart. After that, you just flip up the side panels and place the separated pieces onto either end of the phone. When you're done, it kind of reminds you of a little baby TV stand when you stand it up. But I think it works really well, and I didn't have much trouble changing the angle of the phone even though the two pieces were separated. So then I tested out just how well this thing works out in the field. With something this small, I walked around just trying to find objects to set this on and use it similarly to the height of a regular tripod. You can capture yourself doing ridiculous things like my failed attempt at climbing a tree and very quickly giving up, or you can use the delayed timer function on your photo app to take photos, as was my second attempt here, and it worked out really well, especially in comparison to my really sad attempt at tree climbing. But I blame it on the tree. It wasn't a very good climbing tree. So in this next scenario, I wanted to test how well it works with extreme angles. So in this instance, I am standing at the top of a set of stairs, and I wanted to set it up to look downward onto the stairs. So I inverted the adapters so that I could get a deeper viewing angle. And I was lucky in that the air was perfectly still, so I really didn't have hesitation putting it on the edge of a railing. But I would caution where you put this because it can very easily fall. For example, you can see the railing begin to shake right before the train comes through, but I got lucky in that it did not fall off the railing. So here's the train, yay! I love seeing trains. So here I am going down the stairs and basically just abandoning my $1,000 plus phone and walking to nowhere in the shot, but I think that this little tripod gives you some nice viewing angles with very little effort and not a lot of gear. In this next shot, I wanted to try an extreme angle that was low to the ground looking upward. So again, just really abandoning my phone and not really having intention on going anywhere. And just testing out different camera angles with the tripod. But I still like how this shot came out, even though I was losing the light of day. So this would be good if you're on vacation or sightseeing, and let's say you don't like asking strangers to take photos for you, or maybe there's no one around, and you can still take some decent photos that don't necessarily look like typical selfies where you're like right in the camera's face. You can still see the background of the photo because you can stand at a distance from the camera, and it works out really well. This next example is a scenario that doesn't work and something you're going to run into with using a device like this. So the drawback to not having a tripod is that depending on your location, there could be limited places where you can set this little tripod down. You're kind of forced to use the objects around you, and sometimes it feels a little limiting to take pictures only on locations where there are objects at eye level. So in this shot, the only thing around me is a rock, and that rock is at an angle, so obviously the footage has a very obscure angle to it. I could see this tripod being good for time lapses and long exposure shots in addition to video and photos. It's a great piece of everyday carry without adding a lot of weight. When you think about it, most people carry 3 things on them, those being their phone, their keys, and their wallet. And if this is stored in your wallet, you'll never be without a miniature tripod. Use the link in the description below and it will help me create more great videos. I'm losing the light of day, so here I am abandoning 2 iPhones one more time for the sake of the outro shot. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next video.